We're here for another case. This time it's Huntakiller's The Girl in the Well. So I thought it'd be appropriate for the month of October. It has a difficulty of easy, so hopefully it'll be easier than the other Huntakillers I've played. I think I've done pretty well on Huntakiller. So the box does look a little smaller than the other one-offs. I've yet to play one of the series, which I believe comes in 5 parts, mostly because that probably take a really long time. So yeah, let's check out the back here. So it says, investigate a cold case that has stumped detectives. In August 1999, after leaving a friend's house party, Marcy Langley disappeared. Her body was discovered at the bottom of an old well on her neighbor's farm. Her death was ruled a homicide, but the detective working the case couldn't solve it, and eventually the case went cold. Now, the detective must solve the murder while he still can, and you're just the help he needs. Dive into this cold case and finally deliver some justice for Marcy. So we will need to analyze the investigation, eliminate suspects, and catch the killer. So like other games, there's going to be a bunch of documents we read through, and then we ultimately have to figure out who done it. And you're specifically looking for things like means, motive, and opportunity. This time I came a little bit more prepared with some post-it notes, and of course I have my notebook here. You guys don't forget to take notes as well. And let's go ahead and open this thing up. All right, so first we have the game manual. Seems like pretty basic stuff's going through. The first thing we do is to read a letter, which is probably like the introduction. And then they also mention here the means, motive, and opportunity. So the way the killer committed the murder, was it a blunt instrument, poison? Who had access to the murder weapon? And motive, the reason the killer committed the murder, was it premeditated or a crime of passion? What did the victim know about the suspects? And what did the suspects know about the victim? And lastly, opportunity, the access the killer had to the victim. Opportunity is time and place. Who was with the victim when the victim's fate was sealed? So for the solution, when you think you've identified the killer, go ahead and open the solution envelope. So this is similar to the murder at the hotel one that I played. The most recent one, it was online, but this one you get an envelope, which I kind of like online more because I think if you guess wrong, you could still have a chance to try to guess correctly. But this one, you know, once you see it, then that's it. So do not open until you're sure you know who the killer is. To access spoiler-free hints and read the solution for each puzzle, there's a website here. So we might do that. There's a QR code here, and it has this website, the one that we saw on the envelope. And there are some player resources. So I'm not sure if they just mean the hints, but we might be checking out this site later. And this looks like a hint too. Feeling stuck? Try reading detective's letter again. Then review his police report once more. Is there something he missed? Okay, so I guess that's to kick you off to see what he missed. And then it says a full inventory, including hidden documents and items, can be found in the inventory, hidden items, and hidden text section. Transcriptions of audio files and handwritten documents can be found in the accessibility section. Okay, so audio files, I'm wondering if it's going to be another phone number we have to call. And that's about it. So let's go through the contents of the box really quickly, and then we'll see if we can solve this case. So again, I'm not going to read it right now. We're just going to look through everything very quickly. And this must be the introduction letter. Matthew Idlewild, no back here. Newspaper clipping, body of missing teen found. Then we have paperclip documents here. This looks like a police report. And suspicious person. This is supposed to be like the suspects here. So we got 1, 2, 3 suspicious persons. Try saying that 3 times fast. Okay, doesn't look like there's backs to anything. Oh, this one does have a back. Looks like a drawing of a map. There's a farmhouse. We know the well is near or on the farm. We have a street name here. I think I'll just leave it unfolded, but I'll paperclip it back. Okay, so this next image, viewer discretion, is looks very creepy. So this must be Marcy or Marcine, and this is the outside of the well. Okay, there's no back here. A picture of a necklace and a tree hollow. There's some notes written on these. It must be from the detective who couldn't solve it. We have a handwritten note here. We'll read through all this, but for now we're just gonna quickly go through all the documents. We have a folded document here. says the Office of the Medical Examiner. So this must be the autopsy. This one does have a back. All right, then we got some more documents clipped together. Witness statement. Are all these witness statements? Yes. Whoa, there's a lot of witnesses. This, oh man, is this also front and back? Okay, that's we're gonna have our reading cut out for us. All right, so looks to be what, 7? That's a lot. Okay, next there's this folded article. Local shops grand reopening, a celebration of revitalizing Main Street. This looks like jewelry. There was a photo of jewelry, I think, found on the scene. In the back, these look like random ads, but you never know. Girl sets new record for gelatin eating contest. And then Big Spicy. There's a few more things in here. We have this advertising postcard. Charm Electric. Electrical repairs. Current resident. We have an address here. We have a name and a photo. Josh Darnell. We also got his address, or probably the company's address, and a phone number. Okay, this looks like a real phone number, so I think we will have to call. Serving all of Baltimore and surrounding counties. Wonder what this has to do with anything. Next, another newspaper clipping. Legendary local holdout finally sells after decades-long feud with developer. Tired of fighting or fleeing bad memories. So I wonder if this is the farm owner where the well is. And I'm wondering if this is before or after they found Marcy. I guess we'll see when we go through this. And then the back seems like random ads again. But you never know. We won't rule out anything. And finally, we have a little baggie with, it looks like the necklace that was in the photo. It's from the police department, collected by Matt Idlewild. That's our detective, I think. It was in August 7th, 1999. Necklace, broken, found next to the well at scene. I think I'll just leave it in there for now, unless we have to use it somehow. And that's it. I don't believe there's anything in the box. No hidden things. Okay, so we will put the box aside for now. Let's flip this all back to the beginning. And now we can start with the introduction letter. Hello, my name is Matthew Idlewild. I was a homicide detective with the Calverton PD for 29 years until they handed me a chocolate cake and a coffee mug when I retired back in 2016. And in all the time since retirement, my unsolved cases have haunted me. The victims who were buried unavenged, their families who never understood why or how their loved one was taken from them. It all keeps me up at night, and no amount of warm cocoa can lull me to sleep, so I need you to help me. One particular case that has lately kept me from my shut-eye is from the summer of 1999. Marcine Langley, a young prospective college student known as Marcy to those close to her, was found at the bottom of a well on a farm not far from her home after she disappeared from a party at a friend's house. The well was a frequent hangout spot for Langley and her friends whenever they would play hooky or stay out late, typical teenager stuff. Now, the farm owner is selling it to a developer who is going to fill in the well, pave over the land, and in doing so, erase any evidence of Marcy's murder. Okay, so that last newspaper clipping was probably more recent. We need to solve her case before that happens. Fortunately, you have a head start. Back when I was investigating the case originally, I had it narrowed down to 3 suspects. Felicity Gorsuch, the best friend, was the last person known to speak to Marcy before she died. August Green, the local curmudgeon, owns the farm in question. He's had a vendetta against the Langleys for some time, and I always sensed a quiet violence about him. My gut, however, told me that it was Josh Darnell, the boyfriend, who did it. He and Marcy had a fight at the party before Marcy disappeared, which he denied. I know he was lying to me, but I just wasn't able to prove it was him. Okay, so is that the whole case? We're going to prove it's him. I've included with this letter a few things that shed some light on what each of these people are up to these days. Oh, current today? Or the current date of this game? They all seem to be doing well for themselves, at least on the surface. Felicity is running her own business, a cornerstone to the revitalization of downtown Calverton. Josh moved away, and he now runs his own business in Baltimore. Oh, that's the electric company. I recently received one of his ads in the mail. I wonder how long it took him to move on. I hope you might see what I missed, where I went wrong. Consider each of the 3 suspects. One of them had the opportunity and the motive to kill Marcy. What about the means? Find out who. I know her mom will feel a lot better wherever she is once her daughter's killer is brought to justice. All the best, Matthew Idlewild. P.S. I hope you can forgive my scribbles. This is the only copy of the report I still have. Take care of it. So nothing really stood out to me here, but the introduction or instruction manual did say to pay attention to this letter and the police report. So I think we should just move on for now. Felicity was the last one to speak, although the boyfriend, Josh, had a fight at the party. So we'll see. Okay, next we had this newspaper article. Maybe I'll just clear these out actually. So Sunday, August 8th, 1999, body of missing teen found. The search for 18-year-old Marcy Langley, missing since Friday, ended yesterday when her body was discovered at the bottom of an old well on a neighbor's property. Langley's mother, Marianne Langley, said her daughter left the house at 9 p.m. on Friday to attend a friend's house party and never returned. Multiple witnesses have placed Marcy Langley at the party that night, though there seems to be a disagreement about when she left and whether or not she was alone when she did. Okay, so maybe I should actually start taking some notes here. So I have 4 colors here. I think I'm going to go with some sort of a system here. And for timeline, I'm going to use red. So I'm not sure this is important, but it does mention 9 p.m. That's when Marcy left her house. I don't know if these sticky notes are going to be really handy, but it's the first time I'm trying this, so we'll see. If you watch other games where I just put it on the computer where it's so much easier to make notes, we'll see if this is pretty much to the same effect. All right, so on the top now, Marcy Langley's body was found by Donna Bolzano, 17, who was her friend and also at the party. When no one had heard from Marcy Langley for 18 hours, Bolzano decided to check the area around the well, which has been used as a discreet hangout spot by local teens for years to play hooky. So I'll probably take a note of that too, but let's finish reading this. I just thought if something happened and she wanted to be alone but not really be alone, she might go there to the well, Bolzano said. When I didn't see her, I felt like I didn't know what to do and chucked an old can down there. I didn't hear it hit the bottom. I looked in and I knew. I was so terrified and sad. Dang, that's gotta be creepy. Or not creepy, just like maybe traumatizing. Detective Matthew Idlewild, who is investigating what happened, said he is unable to comment on details of Langley's case. What I can say is that we have some ideas and we are gathering information from every source we can, Idlewild said. We're going to solve what happened to Marcy and find some small bit of comfort for her grieving mother. But then he wrote, I failed. Okay, so maybe I'll just put this note in the middle here. Basically, she was gone for 18 hours or found 18 hours later. I think this means 18 hours after she left the party. But I'm just trying to get a rough timeline for now. We'll see if I need to dig into details later, especially when we have a time of death, which I'm guessing will be in the autopsy. All right, and in the back it says Calverton Commons Cinema. Join us every week for our Friday midnight showings. So this was on a Friday that it happened. Yeah, so she left 9 p.m. Friday. So we have a list of movies. Previews start at 11:50, so this might be someone's potential alibi. She's All That. Are these real movies? Yeah, Austin Powers. Okay, I don't think we need to really pay attention to this just yet. Oh, actually, we know the date too. So let's see. This is August 8th. So that would be Austin Powers, I think. The Spy Who Shagged Me. 6th. We'll reference this again if somebody says they were watching a movie. So next we have the police reports. So officers in charge, Matthew Idlewild, type homicide, description, 18-year-old female, discovered, pushed down well. So he already assumes she was pushed. The location, East Corner property at 5072 Juniper Road. This is at the farm on August 6th. So it is Austin Powers on the movie. The time occurred 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, so that is maybe just before the movie starts. The victim's Marcine Langley. Her date of birth is June 7th, 1981. Please provide below summary description of the case. All right, Marcy Langley, 18, was discovered on August 7th, 1999 in an old well located in the east corner of the property located at 5072 Juniper Road, Calverton, MD. MD is Maryland, right? This property belongs to August Green. Langley's body was discovered face up at the bottom of the 77-foot deep well. A fracture on the back of her skull was evidence of the head trauma that caused her death. The fact that she was on her back suggests she fell backwards into the well. Okay, so that's why he thinks she was pushed. A mark on her neck and a broken necklace belonging to the victim suggests the necklace was ripped from her neck. This leads me to believe that Langley was pushed into the well. The medical examiner agrees. This case is therefore being investigated as a homicide. According to witnesses, Langley arrived at a house party at the home of Beth Shirkins, 5070 Juniper Road, on Friday, August 6, 1999, sometime between 9:30 and 10. Okay, so we have her arrival time. She then argued with her boyfriend, Josh Darnell, 19, before talking to her best friend, Felicity Gorsuch, 18. Langley was seen to be upset at that point, presumably because of her fight with Darnell. Sometime between 11 p.m. and midnight, Langley left the party. It should have taken her 30 minutes to arrive home, but she was never seen alive again. No witnesses at the party have been able to verify when exactly Langley left the party or if she left alone. The three primary suspects in the case are Darnell, who fought with the victims shortly before her death and is unable or unwilling to speak to the nature of their argument. Gorsuch, who was the last person to be seen talking to the victim at the party and seemed uncomfortable during questioning. And Green, on whose property the victim was discovered and who appears to be potentially violent. Okay, then we have an update on the September 27th. No additional evidence has been recovered and no new leads have manifested. And then in 2000, the department has determined that there are not enough leads to justify continuing to spend resources on pursuing this case. This case is therefore no longer being officially investigated. Then we got two handwritten updates. This is in 2023. Word is Green is rethinking deal with developer. We must work this out before well is filled in case trial leads back inside. If Green sells, he may skip town or leave country. And there goes a suspect. Another update, January 27th, 2024. Going to need help with this case. Old office will not spare resources. Must find outside help. So I guess we have an idea of the current day in the game, which is in 2024. So here's a map of the back. I don't know if it's that relevant to me right now, but we should be able to know what he missed, right? Or something that the officer missed. But I think we need more information too. So maybe when we go through the rest of the info, then we'll know if he missed something. So let's move on. We have our first suspicious person. This is Felicity, her best friend. The phone is no longer valid. Try the shop. Okay, so we have to figure out where her shop is, but we have an address. Suspect appeared uneasy, nervous during the interview. She was the last person to speak with Marcy at the party. Best friend to the victim. Nice and short. That's just what I like. There's no back here. We got Josh Darnell. This was the boyfriend. Moved to Baltimore. Need to find contact info. And there's an address here. Suspect appeared to be hiding something during his interview. In his statement, he avoided directly describing his confrontation with Marcy prior to her disappearance and death. Boyfriend to the victim, attending community college in the fall. Currently working at Bingo's Diner as busboy. Now owns and operates Charm Electric. I do want to see that postcard. So this is what he looks like now versus back then. And he has a family. Maybe we can ID one of these people too. I don't know. His wife. Because if you're like me and my family, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you love a good movie night. Interesting. And the address here is the same address here. So I guess he just updated it based on what he found here. Okay, so let's move on. Now we got Austin Green. He has an address that's still in Calverton. He has a phone number. We might have to try this number as well. He mowed the crime scene the day after the murder. It might be coincidental. It might not. He doesn't hide his disdain toward the Langley family. Ex-wife eloped with the victim's father 10 years ago. Okay, so that's why he doesn't like them. No direct relationship to the victim. Victim was found on his property. Tends a portion of his 10-acre farm. The rest is overgrown. Interesting. Why? And then currently he's trying to sell the farm. So he's a smoker. No, I should have paid attention to the other photos. Not really much to go off of here. Or here, she's wearing glasses and a beanie. I don't know what else. She is wearing something like is that a lanyard or a purse? Let's move on to the rest of these files here. So next we had some pictures. This is of her in the well. From this photo, it looks like she's been there for a while, right? She's kind of pale already, but this is possibly just the next day or 16 hours, right? They found her 16 hours later. Marcine Langley discovered at the bottom of the 77-foot deep dry well located on the southwest corner of August Green's farm. And then the address. She had apparently hit her head on the stone as she fell down in the well, which would have been the thing that killed her. The mark on her neck is likely from her necklace, which was found broken on the ground outside of the well. Then there's a picture of the well on Green's property in which Langley's body was found. It is an isolated area of the property and sits closer to 5070 Juniper Road. We did see the map where Langley had been earlier in the evening than it sits on Green's farmhouse. I see. So it's closer to the party, I guess, is what they're saying, than the farmhouse. Green recently mowed the lawn the morning before this photo was taken, the day after the party where Langley was last seen. I wonder if that's an important detail. Next, we have Langley's necklace in the taller grass surrounding the well. It appears broken and missing a section, which has not been recovered. Where's the rest? Okay, we're going to take a look at the necklace. So maybe I can just take it out now. I'm pretty sure I'm not contaminating it or anything. Or if we were trying to find prints or something. Okay, so it says missing a section. Yeah, if it's supposed to be a necklace, it's pretty short. It looks more like a bracelet. Just leave that up here. So someone has the rest. I think that's what they're hinting at. Next, there's a photo of a tree. This tree has a hollow in which were found old beer cans, bottles, and what appears to be a recent note from Langley's boyfriend, Josh Darnell. Okay, so that must be the next page. Here's that note. Before I read this, the note from Darnell found in the tree at the scene. Witnesses claim that Darnell and Langley got into an argument at the party. Okay, so let's read this. Stars fall. Upon a chance arrive to me, alive, wandering, meek and free. Be not undone or lost or blue. We seek it all and lose what's true. Create between arisen blooms the darkness of new, rot and doom. Glimpse the love, forgot the pain. See the trust yet still retain. Hide your heart, so too we heal. Forget your soul at last reveal. I'm guessing there's like a lot of gaps, so we'll see if there's a code in here. Until again, our fates repeated. We're thrown against the fog of years, undone and ruined, torn limb and trust, attain nothing but soot and rust. A home today, a life undone, a song delayed, a heart broken. Oh, did he write this after their argument? I guess so. Okay, so I'm wondering, it says stars fall, and then it has some stars with lines here. I'm wondering if we have to use the bracelet. This is interesting too. This is the first huntakiller that there's no lockbox with a combination lock. All we got is this necklace. Stars fall. I wonder if you're supposed to like line this up or something. I'm not sure. The gaps look like something too, huh? Like between here and here. There's also like the capital letters. It's SFUCAB. If I see something, I'll come back to this. Clearly, the boy cannot write poetry. So what drove him to write it in this instance? There must be something I am missing. Yes, so there is some sort of secret message. I just can't think of it right away. My initial hunch is with the weird spacing and gaps. Also, maybe we have to use the bracelet only because of the top right here. But I don't want to spend too much time on this yet. We'll definitely come back. So let's keep moving. Next, we have the autopsy. Haven't been taking much notes, but well, hopefully I'll still remember some stuff. So this is the autopsy report of Marcin. Estimated date and time of death, August 6th, 11:30 p.m. Okay, so that is a time. I'm not going to write it. I'm just going to put this here. I should take general notes as well on my notepad here. So just keep track of the time of death because I'm sure we'll have to check that with everyone's alibi. Cause of death. From the anatomic findings and pertinent medical history, I ascribe the death to acute subdural hematoma due to or as a consequence of falling injury to head. Manner of death, homicide. Other conditions contributing but not related to the immediate cause of death, depressed skull fracture. Evidence of hematoma expansion putting pressure on the brain. Small fracture to the back of the head at the point of injury. Oh, but that's also from the fall, right? Toxicology is positive for ethanol in post-mortem peripheral blood. Okay, ethanol, I believe we know is chloroform, right? I could be wrong. I don't remember. Okay, maybe this will give me more details. So body toxicology report, basic post-mortem blood panel results. Ethanol results 17.5 milligrams. Blood alcohol concentration 0.018. Is that a lot? I don't know. What's the limit of, at least for driving? I think it's much lower than that, right? Other than as noted above, examination of the specimens submitted did not reveal any positive findings of toxicological significance. Oh, so it's not significant? I thought the ethanol would be significant. So here's the back. Routine external examination. An autopsy on the body of Marcin was performed at the office of the Calverton County Medical Examiner. That's just details. The body is that of a well-developed, well-nourished young adult white female who appears the stated age of 18 years. Okay, some more details. The body is presented in a black body bag. Okay, upon removal of the tarp, the body is clothed in a pink lace dress with black stripes and black leather boots. Evidence of dirt on the back of the dress. I'm going to take a note of that. So maybe I can just do blue here. I'm just going to write clothing because in case, I don't know, we find some of this somewhere on someone. And then the dirt on the back as well. Abrasions found on the body appear to be from the fall down the well. A small 4-inch mark is imprinted on the neck, a line pressed into the skin perimortem. I believe that is the necklace, the action of it being ripped off or something. So maybe this necklace has some significance. Whoever did this wanted the necklace, didn't like the necklace. I don't know. So the mother was able to confirm the identity, clothing and valuables. The body is received in a black body bag. A small hemp purse was found next to the body containing a school ring, duct tape wallet with the victim's ID, and $20 cash. I remember when duct tape wallets used to be a thing. You would just make them yourself. 30 cents in loose change, half a pack of Mentos, a tampon, 2 neon pink band-aids, Dr. Pepper lip smacker lip gloss. No other personal effects accompany the body. At the scene, law enforcement reported discovering a partially broken necklace, believed to have belonged to the deceased. The description of the necklace matches the mark on the neck. Okay, so they confirmed that. So routine internal examination, head central nervous system, the brain weighs that and normal limits, the small depressed fracture in the back of the skull. The skeletal system is unremarkable and is within normal limits. Oral cavity shows no lesions, no obstruction of airway. The heart is normal. Let's move on. Gastrointestinal system is intact. Urinary system looks okay. Female genital system within normal limits. Toxicology. Samples of central and peripheral blood are submitted for toxicologic analysis. All right. Opinion. This 18-year-old female, Marcine Langley, died as a result of acute subdural hematoma that put pressure on the brain. No evidence of significant natural disease processes were present. Toxicological testing was positive for ethanol in postmortem peripheral blood, but the amount would not have presented significant impairment to motor function. The deceased fell backwards and left a broken necklace outside the surface of the well, suggesting she was pushed. With the information available to me at this time, the manner of death, in my opinion, is homicide. Okay, so there's nothing in her system, or it wasn't significant enough. Was she just caught off guard? Like, what was she doing there? And was she looking down the well? Well, actually, wait, she fell on her back. I have to see where the dirt imprints were. So this is evidence of dirt on the back of the dress. Is that because she fell on her back? Is that what they're saying? I guess so, right? Okay, so next we have our 7 witness statements. These, I'm guessing, are going to give a lot of detail. We'll have to see whose stories corroborate with each other and then possibly have a better idea of what happened that night. The first time, I'm just going to kind of speed read through, not really take in too much, maybe just things that stick out. I'll try to jot down some notes, put some sticky notes on there, and then we'll definitely come back and try to dig in some more. So I might miss a thing or two. Hopefully you guys catch it. So this is Felicity. Interesting. She gave a witness statement. I guess they did mention like during the interviews, right? They were nervous or something. All right. So detective says, so Felicity, what happened to Marcy? I don't know. I do know that she and Josh got into a fight before she disappeared, but I don't think he did anything to her. You don't think he did? I'm sure he didn't. How can you be sure? Because he's not like that. Josh doesn't hurt people. He's just a jockey kind of guy. Or jokey. Jokey? No, jockey. Really loved Marcy. Do you have feelings for Josh? Absolutely not. Not my type, no. I was just to say the same thing. What about your relationship with Marcy? Marcy was a great friend. Like most kids, we knew each other from elementary school. Like most of the kids at Calverton, I mean. Did you notice anything off about her recently? I know she was excited about the future. She got into Whitlock University, which is the school I wanted to go to, and got a scholarship on top of it. And good for her, right? She had it all. The school, the boyfriend, things were going so well for her. It's horrible what happened. All her dreams, just gone. This must be hard for you. Yeah. That's all right. I won't take up much more of your time. What do you know about what Marcy did the night she disappeared? You were with her at the party, right? Yeah, I was there. I think she left around 11. I remember Lamar handed me a drink and said to make a wish because it was midnight, and I'm pretty sure Marcy left like an hour before that. I was at the party until really late, like one of the last people awake. I felt awful the next morning, so I went home and went back to sleep. I slept a lot. Okay, so this is her alibi. So I'm going to mark it with blue. I think she says until midnight, right? I'm going to put late for now, and then at midnight, which is well after the time of her death, she claims that Lamar handed her a drink. So we'll have to confirm. We'll see if anyone else mentions that name or if he's even one of the witnesses. Why didn't you go looking for her when no one heard from her? I don't always hear from Marcy. There's not necessarily a reason we talked every weekend. She's pretty independent. I think she could live life totally alone and be perfectly happy. I'm not like that. Not like that? Me neither. Let me ask you something else. Was Marcy wearing this necklace at the party? Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's her necklace. Yeah, she was wearing it. I think that sounds like she's a bit nervous there, right? Do you know where she got it? I did. I mean, I gave it to her. You gave it to her? Why? For her birthday last year. I thought she could use a cute little necklace. I thought she'd like the gemstones because, she's kind of into that. I think they bring joy and calm or something. Did you ever want to take the necklace back? What? No, it was a gift. Why? It was a nice necklace. You never had a falling out? No, nothing like that. No, she was my best friend. I was proud of her. And now she's dead and I would like to go home, please. Okay, Miss Gorsuch, you can go. That was kind of a weird ending there. All right, so again, we're just going to keep going. I did take a note of what she says was her alibi. And next we have Josh Darnell. So this is the boyfriend, right? Yeah, the boyfriend. So, Mr. Darnell, do you know who killed your girlfriend? I don't think anyone would want to hurt Marcy. Not even you? What? No, she was great. We were great. Things were going really well with us. So I'm not really sure if I'm capturing like the true emotion. I'm just trying to read it to get the information. So apologies. I'm not a voice actor or anything like that either. So I hope this is all right. Okay. So he says things were going really well with us. That's not what I heard. I heard you two were fighting at the party. We weren't fighting. We just disagreed about something. That was all. Nothing big. I don't know what she would have been upset about. You sure you don't know? No idea. Well, we have that note that he wrote, so something happened. What do you know? Do you know what she did that night? The night she disappeared? She got to the party after I did. Just after I did. She came right over to me and Lamar and asked if we could talk. So we talked, and I don't even remember what it was that we disagreed about, but it was a small thing. I wonder if who's this Lamar guy? Seems to be connected to everything. It wasn't about her going away, was it? Of course I wanted her to stay close, but she got into school in Connecticut. But that's okay because it's only a drive away and we figured we could see each other on some weekends. We'd make it work. I was willing to make it work. You were willing to make it work? Absolutely, yes. Was she? I can't speak for her, but I'd hope so. So if you two weren't arguing, why is it that you weren't with her the whole night? I had to leave the party because I wasn't feeling well, that's all. When did you leave? I left around 10:45 p.m. And what did you do when you left? Okay, so here's his alibi. I went home. My parents were asleep. That was my night. I didn't realize Marcy was missing. I assumed that she wasn't talking to me, even though it was a small thing like something she needed her space. Or sometimes she needed her space. And after 4 years together, I've learned to give her that space. What do you think she did with that space? I wish I knew. Okay, so it's not much of an alibi. So even though he says he went home and her parents were there, they were asleep, so they cannot corroborate anything. Let's continue this back here. Did Marcy mention anything to you in the days leading up to the party that would indicate that she felt like she was in trouble with anyone? No, not that I can think of. Everything seemed normal until the party, when you argued for some forgettable reason. Yeah, until that. Mr. Darnell, did you write this poem? Finally, it's about time we asked about it. Yeah, we found it near the well. That puts you at the scene. You know that, right? It seems pretty dark too, like you might have been distressed when you wrote it. I was just trying to be artsy. I wanted to tell Marcy how I was feeling. I left it there because I know she goes there and she'd find it. But you don't think that whatever inspired you to write this poem, like your argument with Marcy, has anything to do with her disappearance from the party or how she ended up in that well? I don't know, okay? I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just don't know. Okay, Mr. Darnell, you can go. I may be in touch. So that's true. I didn't think about that. It does place him there at the scene. So he's not looking good right now. All right, next we have Austin Green, who is the owner of the farm. All right, Mr. Green. August Green. People like to call me Augie. That's fine. I don't mind them long as they don't mind me. All right, Augie. Tell me about your relationship to Marcine Langley. I didn't know the Langley girl. Not really. I know her folks are split and her daddy's a scoundrel who ran off with my Ellie, and he wouldn't have split if he didn't have that girl. You mean Marcy? The man was scared of being a daddy, and that girl scared him right to my Ellie. Do you blame Marcy for your ex-wife leaving you? I didn't say that. And then the detective says should have pressed. Well then, tell me about Friday night. Friday night, I heard some commotion from the Shurkins' house. It was late, but they're off a ways, and at 11, I turned on the nightly news so we couldn't hear them. We? My dog, Bear, was with me. I didn't see or hear nothing that would have made me think something was wrong. Bear didn't either. He's old, but he's still a good guard dog, and he would have let me know if something was going on around my property. He didn't, and I fell asleep in my chair. Well, the well is pretty far from the farmhouse, right? Anyways, he does give his alibi. Okay, so I just put he's watching the news with his dog. Okay, so he says he didn't hear anything, and I fell asleep in my chair. You fell asleep? No witnesses? Just Bear. I wonder why the detective underlined these. But it's the same thing like the other guy who went home, but his parents were asleep. And the next day, you thought you should clean up the crime scene? I mowed the lawn the next morning around the well just because I wanted to clear it up so those kids couldn't hide around it anymore. I'm tired of them trespassing on my property. I didn't notice the Langley girl then. You didn't see her body? I never noticed nothing until that other girl used my phone to call the police. Hey, since you're working things around here, are you gonna get those kids for trespassing? Not today, no. Well, I'll chase them off then. Me and Bear and my shotgun. A shotgun for a bunch of teenagers? Just a scare. I wouldn't hurt nobody. This seems pretty violent. There's some people out there saying that you might hurt somebody. They don't know what they're on about. I'd never hurt a fly. They say that because they want me in trouble. Look, I know people don't like me. It's because I don't just roll over every time something new comes around, like those developers, or all those new folks in town with their flashy business shops and gourmet what have you. They call it upscale, but I believe in the character of this town, detective, and I will do what is in my power to do to maintain that character. Wait, let me read that again. And I will do what is in my power to do to maintain that character. Is it just me, or that's a little weird? If you say so, Mr. Green, now you can go. We're just gonna keep going. We got a few more to read. So this is Marianne Langley. It's her mom. Her occupation is secretary. She was 40 at the time. All right, Miss Langley, I know this is difficult for you, but if you can just answer a couple questions. Whatever you need. What can you tell me about your daughter? She was a sweet girl who never hurt anyone. She was a bit of a free spirit, and I think sometimes that got her in trouble. But she was good. She never did anything bad, just teenage stuff. What about the days before the party at the Shurkin's house? I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary with Marcy. She was enjoying her summer, like all kids do. No boy trouble? I would have known if something was going on between her and Josh. She and I always talked about everything. What about the night of the party? She left her house around 9 p.m., so I expected she would get to the party by 9:30. That was the last time we spoke, when we said goodbye. I should have asked her to call me when she got there. I understand. Here, have a tissue. Okay, so she's very emotional. Now, if I may, are you sure Marcy was completely open with you about everything? Teenagers tend to have secrets. Even something small might be helpful if you learn anything. Well, actually, I guess not everything. I read in her diary, I never read it before, that she was planning on taking the year to backpack across Europe. It's not something we had discussed, but she would have had my support as long as she was careful and checked in with me every day. And I would have liked her to travel with a friend or two. Not that it matters anymore. Miss Langley, did your daughter have any enemies? Anyone who would want to hurt her? What? No, of course not. When she was little, some of the other kids in her class would tease her for her dad leaving us, but they grew up and realized it was just a human thing that happened. That's the only time any of the kids ever showed any kind of disrespect towards her. She showed everyone what a genuinely good person she was, and everyone loved her for it. Everyone except Mr. Green, who always seemed to have an issue with Marcy and me. Do you expect Mr. Green had something to do with this? Oh, I don't think he would do anything on purpose necessarily, but he hates how the kids hang out on his property. It wouldn't surprise me if he made it unsafe, Like a trap? No, just, I don't know. I don't trust him. Miss Langley, I understand you want someone to blame. It's my job to find that someone, but I need you to focus on Marcy right now. Okay, yes, okay. Was your daughter in contact with her father, your ex-husband? Whoa, where did this question come from? No, I know that for a fact. Is there anything else you can remember about the night of the party when Marcy left? Was she wearing this necklace? Yes, she always wore that. But there's nothing else to tell, really. I'm sorry. It seemed like a normal night. She was adamant that she get there on time, now that I think about it. Did she say why it was so important to get there? Josh was getting there early too. I think she really wanted to see him that night. But she didn't give you any details as to why? No, I'm sorry. I should have asked. It's okay, Miss Langley. You didn't know. No one ever knows these things. I appreciate your cooperation. You've been helpful. Okay, so she wanted to show up early. I don't know what color to make this one. I'm just gonna do red or pink, whatever. Okay, I just wrote she wanted to show up early for some reason. If it's related to Josh or not, I don't know. We didn't get much from Josh, so from the looks of it, Josh was already at the party with Lamar when she came, and then she came up to both of them and wanted to talk. So I don't know. I don't know what details this gives us. We're just gonna keep going. Next, we got Beth Shirkins. She's a student. Can you tell me about the party Friday and the location, whose house it was? Oh, it was her house, right? It was my house and my party where everyone last saw Marcy. It was a really great party. What made it great? Everyone was getting along, no drama. People were having fun, drinking. It's okay. I'm not interested in busting anyone for drinking. I'm homicide. I should have scared her. Maybe get more info. That's funny. Okay. So everything was fine for a while. Then I overheard Josh and Marcy fighting. They were arguing about something, but I wasn't sure what. Great. That's what we need to know. They were in my sister's old bedroom, Julie, the one who lives in New York, with the door closed. So you didn't see them fighting? The next time I saw Marcy, she was talking to Felicity, and she seemed upset, like she might have been crying. I asked if she was okay, and she said she was. So I didn't know what else to say, and I had to look after the party, so I left them alone. What about Josh? I didn't see Josh after that. Do you know what time that was, their fight? Early on, maybe 10 or 10:30 p.m. Do you have any idea when he left the party? Not sure. Probably early-ish, maybe right after their fight. Does this line up? Does this line up? Let's see what time he said he left. He says he left at 10:45, but she says their fight was 10 or 10:30. Well, if they mean when the fight began, if it was started at 10:30, it could have ended at 10:45. And if he left right after the fight, he says he left at 10:45. Okay, I'm just gonna put a question mark there, or I'll just write Josh said 10:45. And what about Felicity? Did she leave with Marcy? I don't think so. Actually, I know Felicity was at the party until late because I watched her try to shotgun a beer after some kids had already fallen asleep. So like 1 in the morning or something. I was so ready to crash. I just told them to keep it down and not make a mess. That is our first corroboration. Let's just finish reading the page. Who's them? Felicity and Lamar. And Felicity seemed normal? As far as I could tell, she had been drinking a lot, maybe more than usual, but I don't think it was anything weird going on. And what about Marcy? When did you realize no one had heard from her? This pretty much corroborates exactly with Felicity. You guys can see my ugly handwriting. It is also hard to write on this, so give me a break. Okay, so that is a pretty good alibi for Felicity. So we might be close to ruling her out, but we can't know for sure, at least until we went through all of the evidence. So what about Marcy? So he was saying like you didn't think about where she was, and she says the next day. You didn't think to look for her? She was last seen at your house. I didn't go looking for Marcy because I heard that no one's really missing until 48 hours go by, right? I figured she was doing her own thing. I know she's a perfectly capable person. I thought she would be okay. She wasn't though, was she? No, she wasn't. It's all right, Miss Shirkins. Have a tissue. You can go. Thank you. I'm sorry I can't help more. You have been very helpful. I appreciate it. Okay, I think we got some pretty good info here. Now we have Lamar. Seems to be involved with a lot of them. And you're Lamar? Yes, sir. Lamar Pace. What can you tell me about where you were Friday, Lamar? I was at Beth's party on Friday and I saw Marcy there. When did you get to the party? I got there at like 9 o'clock. I like to get places on time. What about Marcy? When did she get there? I don't remember. What do you remember about the party? I don't remember a whole lot of what happened after, like the midpoint of the party, like 11 p.m. But up until then, I don't remember anyone being upset or anything. Do you remember anything specific about Marcy? I remember seeing Marcy smile. She always smiled big for my boy Josh. They were cute. Okay, this is not lining up. Tell me about Josh. He's a good guy. We've been friends since freshman year. We're bench brothers. Bench brothers? Yeah, like we met sitting on the bench for JV football, and we've been warming benches since. It's not something to brag about. I see. Did he ever express anger about being benched all the time? He'd get frustrated, sure, about that, about other things. Normal stuff, you know? Relationship issues, parents getting down on him. Same stuff I lose it over. Lose it? Would he ever get violent? No, nothing like that. Just turn red and yell. He'd never hurt anyone. That's part of the reason he was benched. Can't tackle. I kept telling him he should try out for baseball or golf. You mentioned relationship issues? Yeah, no, he and Marcy didn't really have issues like that. Like, not the way most people do. They kind of had this perfect relationship, right? Like even the cheesy first date at a movie night or midnight movie. No, their issues were like he wants Hardee's, but she wants Hojo's. Okay, two different restaurants or fast food places. Okay, he's painting a very different picture of what happened that night. Okay, back to Friday night. When did Josh get to the party? Just after I did. And what about when he left? I know Josh had left the party before I did because I do remember I couldn't find him when I wanted to leave. That was late, like 2 a.m. Hard to say when he left. You know, his folks pass out early, so he usually can stay out late and they don't even know. Was anyone else still awake with you? No, just me, I think. Wait, no, Felicity was. We had a nightcap. What about earlier during the party? Did you happen to see or hear Marcy and Josh fighting? No, sir. Like I said, I don't remember much, but I do remember Marcy smiling. So that must mean something, right? What is this smiling business? Do you know what she was smiling about? Nope, but she always smiling. Oh, it's a typo. That's just how she is. Okay, Lamar, thank you for your time. You can go. Don't mention it. Okay, that was a bit confusing. I thought I was going to get some good info from Lamar, but he's backing his boy. So he's probably covering up for him. I mean, he would have definitely had to know about the fight, but he's not telling us the truth. Because everyone else says that she was crying, and he keeps saying that she was smiling. So I already know not to trust him. All right, our final witness statement is another student. Donna Bolsano, right? That's me. What do you do, Donna? I'm a junior at Calverton most days. Most days? Well, I already got into college, so I don't always go if I don't have to. Just enough to graduate. Right. I was never that smart. Now, you're the one who found Marcy Langley in the well on Saturday. Oh, right. That's who she is. Right. And what were you doing Friday night? I was at the party at Beth Shirkin's house, where Marcy Langley was last seen. Right. I saw her there. Did you two talk? We talked for a little bit about school and weather, and we're not as close because she's a grade older. I know she was talking to her boyfriend Josh at one point, and her best friend Felicity. Everything seemed normal to me. Vibes were good. Did you see Marcy leave or know who she left with? I didn't see Marcy leave, but I heard someone ask later, like midnight or later, if anyone saw her, and I didn't hear an answer. So you think she left sometime around midnight? About that, or maybe earlier. So I think it's 11:30, right? Everyone thinks she left around 11 or 11:30. Did you notice if she was wearing this necklace at the party? Oh yeah, she always wore that. Every day? as far as I know. And what about the next day? Why did you look for Marcy? When no one heard from her, I thought maybe she wanted to get away from people. Is that something she normally did? I had heard from Beth that Marcy and Josh had a fight at the party, so I thought that if she wanted to be alone, but also maybe wanted someone to find her, then maybe she would be at the hangout spot. The well? Right. The old well and old Farmer Green's property, or on old Farmer Green's property. So yesterday I went there looking for her. Nothing. So I sat there under the tree until I got frustrated. No one seemed to be looking for her. So I found an old can near me and I threw it in the well. Like there was nothing else I could do, you know? But it didn't sound like it hit the bottom. So I looked in and that's when I found her. What did you do when you found her? I ran straight to Mr. Green's house to use his phone and call the police. I didn't touch anything else near the well. Why didn't you go to the Shurkin's house? Isn't it closer to the well? Through the woods. I didn't know if they would be home, but everyone knows Mr. Green is always home. How are you holding up? I'm fine. I haven't slept much, but I'm fine. I still see her. I imagine her face looking at me, up at me. Yeah, see, it is very traumatizing, right? All right, Donna, that's all for now. You've been very helpful. Thank you. Helpful? Not really. What did she give us? So she says everything seemed fine. The vibes were good. But as far as the timeline, she's not sure about anything. So I really don't know what she confirmed. So far, all I think is that I can rule out Felicity. Next, we have this article. So the handwriting says, looks like things are going well for Felicity these days. So she is making jewelry. Maybe I'll have to inspect all the jewelry if any of them have the missing pieces. Oh my gosh. Dude, she is wearing it. Oh my gosh. She's wearing the necklace. Would you just be wearing it? Okay, I don't know if I have to read this. I'm just gonna kind of try to speed read it here. Local shop's grand reopening, a celebration of revitalizing Main Street. Exciting days are here for Juniper Street. The historic Main Street that runs through the center of Calverton, Maryland, has, like many main streets in many towns across the country, seen ups and downs over the past several decades. In the early 2000s, there wasn't much besides the famous Commons keeping things busy. The Commons, still anchored by the Commons Cinema, remains a community gathering place and one of the highlights of any shopper looking for local deals. Today, however, shoppers are more likely to venture out into the surrounding area as new shops and old shops alike are finding themselves flush with consumers. Okay, actually, I'm just going to skim through this. You guys can pause if you want to read it. So she's ran this for 15 years. She has a husband, Trevor Barnes, helps with her own section of the store. His nickname is Trevi, helps me sand and repaint furniture. So it's not talking much about the jewelry. Let me check the back. I'm going to try to skim through this too, see if there's anything important. Lily Fields, does that name sound familiar? It says one man was disqualified for vomiting before he claimed that a fish was suspended in one of his cups. Fields is just 8 years old. Okay, don't know much else there. Big Spicy, cha-cha-cha. What is this? Big Spicy noodles have a very long shelf life, but do keep an eye on the expiration date. Okay, I don't know. That was pretty shocking when I saw her wearing the necklace. But also, so I was saying earlier that the detective said a piece is missing, right? This will definitely not fit around someone's neck. Or actually, that makes sense because if she's wearing a part of this necklace, that's why it's like more of what do you call it? I was gonna say a choker. Is that the right term? Basically, it's like very snug around her neck versus a necklace that's hanging loose. So that could be the other part of this necklace. And I was just about to rule her out. That is crazy. We have a few more pieces of evidence here. All right, and this is about Austin Green. He's trying to sell the farm. Tired of fighting or fleeing bad memories. Legendary local holdout finally sells after decades-long feud with developer. Austin Green, a local farmer who was tending the same 10-acre plot his grandfather purchased in 1910, has reached a sales agreement with Farmstead Construction LLC, according to someone with knowledge of the deal. Green became something of a local legend over the past 3 decades since his feud with Farmstead Construction, which is slowly developing rural acreage in the area, beginning in 1994. Green has been a frequent writer to this paper, and many of his letters disparaging Farmstead Construction and his perceived mistreatment by their representatives were published to widespread notoriety. He wrote in a letter from March 5th, 1997, "These yuppies of Farmstead want to come in and break up our community and call it development, and they want to do it on the cheap. Well, here's one farmer who knows the value of his land and his neighbors, and I won't let them steamroll me, no sir." Kelly Jones, a representative for Farmstead Construction, said that Green is welcome to his opinion. "We're just happy that this dilapidated land can finally be used to house so many families who want to make a life in Calverton," they said. The dispute over land value wasn't the only reason Green's property made the news. In August of 1999, the body of a missing teen was discovered at the bottom of a 77-foot deep well on his land. No one was formally charged with the murder, but it was widely speculated at the time that Green may have had something to do with it. Green has denied all allegations. When asked why he decided to sell after all these years, Green said, "I am just getting too old to keep up with anyone anymore. And most of my neighbors are gone now, so it's just me out here and all these houses. I guess my aging eyes see things differently these days." Age wasn't the only factor involved in the sale of Green's property, of course. Farmstead Construction is paying nearly 50% above average per acre, according to public records. Okay, in the back, don't wait until your loved ones are gone before deciding on their final rest. This embalming services. And then Smile Care, Dr. Anthony something. Lastly, we have this. So there is a couple numbers we need to call. Or was it just this one? Let me see. Oh, no, we also have Austin's phone number. So we got 2 numbers we need to try to call. Let me just read the other side of this. Is servicing all of Baltimore and surrounding counties. If you're like me and my family, you love a good movie, right? Or a good movie night. But what if the wiring in your house isn't up to snuff? You could be in for a real flop. I can turn your TV theater into a cinematic masterpiece and so much more. I'll work on any project when you need it and within your budget. All right. So I think the only other thing is the solutions, and we're not ready for that. Also, there might be online resources we need to check, but I think the next step is to call these phone numbers. So first, we will call Josh Darnell and his Charm Electric Company.
Hello. Thank you for calling Charm Electric by Josh Darnell, the lightning-fast way to increase home comfort and value. No one's available to take your call right now, but we'll be happy to take a message. Have a great day.
I don't think it's an actual answering machine. Okay, that was a dead end. Let's try calling the farmer.
Hello, you reached on the screen. I'm not around the phone at the moment. You can leave a message if you want, that's fine, but don't expect any call back anytime soon.
Am I supposed to wait? There's no way you leave a message, right? All right, well, that didn't get me anything. I did remember there is one thing that I wanted to come back to, and that is that poem. Also, I thought these movies were gonna be something, but I guess not. Okay, well, let's see if we can look more into this poem. Should keep the bracelet nearby. So it says stars fall, and then there's 4 stars with lines in between. That's why I thought, this was going to be used to connect something here. But then I noticed there's these weird gaps. Okay. I I think I see it now. So at first I was thinking to use the capital letters, go across and then maybe go down. So I was like reading UAB, but then I just looked to the right of it under the star, and then it starts to make out PLEASE. So it's please. Okay, well, let's start writing this. So we got please, then don't, DO, do this. Please don't do this. can we try again? So they're breaking up. Relive our first date. Ooh, what was their first date? Meet me there. Okay. He said he left this in the tree trunk for her to find. What if he gave her this note? Okay, hold on. Now I'm super confused. So from all the evidence, I had thought that Felicity has a solid alibi. But now that I'm thinking about it, her alibi is totally dependent on that other dude. What's his name? Lamar. So if her alibi is dependent on, being there late with Lamar, but then going through Lamar's account, he does kind of say, yeah, Felicity was, no, just me, I think. Wait, no, Felicity was. We had a nightcap. So when he's saying this, he said first, no, it was just me. And then he kind of backtracks. So what was the other person? There was someone else. Yeah, Beth. So what is Beth's deal? It's her house, her party. She said, I know Felicity was at the party until late because I watched her try to shotgun a beer after some kids had already fallen asleep. So like 1 a.m. or something. Okay, so this is a little weird. And what about that map? I don't think we've used the map yet. Okay, so if we look at the map, there's the house with the party and the farmhouse and the well. And how big was this farm? 10 acres? Yeah, 10-acre plot. So it's pretty big, right? To get from the farmhouse to the well. But there is a huge gap. I was trying to think of when the girl who finds her goes to the house to call, what's his name? The guy, August Green or something. So I was thinking, because it's so far, he wouldn't have time to do that and go back home. But I don't know. There's not much of a time frame because the body was found way later. Oh man, I don't know if I'm missing something or what. Okay, well, it said to read the introduction letter and the police report and to see what he missed. So let's go through this again. Okay, I don't know. I feel like I'm almost there, This note is very suspicious, but I'm not sure if it mentioned where his first date was. Maybe that's what I need to find. He says, relive our first date. Did he talk about it in his interview? Okay, I don't remember if he's mentioned where his first date was. So she probably wanted to show up early to break up with him, right? That's what he wanted. She wanted to talk to him about. And that's why they were fighting. But then he writes the note after the fight, leaves it in the tree. All right, let me see Lamar's interview. Okay. So this is where I mentioned it. They kind of had this perfect relationship, right? Like even the cheesy first date at a midnight movie. That's why I remember it mentioning something. So he went to the movie theater then. So that is his alibi. If he left the note there in the tree and then went to the movie theater. So hoping she goes there to the tree, finds a note, and then meets him at the movie theater. So now I need something more on Felicity. So I don't think I have anything on the farmer. There's no real motive against her specifically, unless he just targeted somebody at random for trespassing. But I don't think he would push her down his well, because that makes him look suspicious right away. So now it's kind of like working backwards here, because I already saw the picture where she's wearing the other part of the necklace, which means she got it. She had to be there. It places her in the scene, but also, I mean, why else would she have the necklace unless she was the one who ripped it off? But as far as means, people were saying she was at the party until late, but she could have slipped out. No one mentions anything about that possibility, though. No one says she was there the whole time. No one knows if Marcy left alone, so she could have left with Felicity. There's just no info around anything, right? And I feel like I don't want to make a guess just because of that picture where she's wearing the necklace. But I'm kind of at a crossroads here of whether I want to spend more time on this or just kind of go for it. Another option is to look at some of the hints just to double check before I make my final guess. Because once I open it, that's it. I don't understand the phone numbers. So when I called this number, a lady answered the phone. I'm guessing his wife. I mean, he mentions good movie night. He loves movies. His first date was in the movie theater. Oh, to schedule your next appointment with me, mention my dog Tex for a free consultation. Whoops, did I miss that part? Oh, do I have to call again? Okay, let's try. Let's try this one more time.
Hello. Thank you for calling Charm Electric by Josh Darnell, the lightning fast way to increase home comfort and value. No one's available to take your call right now, but we'll be happy to take a message. Have a great day.
Tex. I'm mentioning your dog Tex for a free consultation. And it's not working. That'd be funny if they are recording something. This is just a bunch of people trying to say Tex. Okay, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be telling me. Wait, is she wearing a necklace? Oh, I just realized it's a dog. There's Tex. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna check online really quick, see if I missed anything. All right, so this is a site. I think it's just for the hints. Let's see the first hint for the timeline of events. Cross-referencing the witness statements and police summary report will help you build a timeline of events for Friday night. I mean, I have like a very rough timeline. I know she leaves around 11 or 11:30. I know people's alibis. The boyfriend says he left the party at 10:45 but went home. We now know that's possibly not true. He went to the tree trunk to leave the note and then to the movie theater. Felicity, we don't know. She just says she was just at the party with Lamar. Lamar's testimony is kind of shady. I don't know whether I can trust him or not. Okay, let's see hint 2. Oh, and the farmer just says he was home with his dog. As you're working on determining the timeline events, make sure to take a look at Detective Ottawald's map on the back of the police summary report. Okay, is that just to tell that, oh, they had to walk through the woods to get to the well, and then the house is pretty far from the well? Okay, Josh's poem, I think I already kind of pieced that together. Missing necklace hint? Sure, let's look at that. Detective Ottawald sent along the broken necklace discovered at the scene of the crime, but there's a piece missing. Help him find the missing piece. Yeah, so we found that. You know, I mean, I think we're kind of locking in Felicity at this point. Having the necklace is pretty conclusive evidence, especially the way it fit around her neck, as if it wasn't the full necklace. So just for the sake of it, I want to read the poem. I think I pieced it already. So it was written in a certain way. Yeah, I stumbled upon the pattern, but I was supposed to follow the stars. Okay, so let's see. Elimination. He believes Josh didn't have an alibi. Yes, he does have an alibi. So actually, yeah, if he wanted to watch the movie too, then the movie would have started around 11:30 or midnight. Okay, yeah. And the 1999 news article. Yeah, the movies in the back. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, he didn't think much of Marcy. There's not much of a connection there, no relationship there. Okay, I think that's about it. All right, so we think it's Felicity. She must have just went out, maybe even with Marcy, to the well, and then just went back to the party. There's not much else we can gather to really discredit her alibi. But we know for sure it wasn't the boyfriend. And the farmer, we also don't have much info on him. But when we saw that photo of her wearing the necklace, I think that pretty much sealed the deal. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, it's another newsletter. There's nothing else. Langley murder cold case solved. In the back is just some ads. Let me clear this out. Marcy Langley Leff was just 18 when she was murdered in 1999, and Matthew Adewale Wright was the detective on the case. Okay, so he wrote, "Thank you for your help, detective. I could not have done it without you." Man, they're really gonna make us read this whole thing, huh? Thanks to the fresh assistance of an outside private investigator, a Calverton County cold case from 1999 has been solved. It was Felicity Gorsuch. According to court documents, Gorsuch said she was furious with Langley because she had everything I wanted and she was going to give it up like it was nothing. To live in hostels for a year, so I pushed her. I didn't notice where we were, next to the well. When I realized she was falling down, I reached out but only grabbed her necklace. I couldn't save her. So we solved the case. It did say it was going to be easy. That did kind of feel very easy. It was just right there in plain sight. I wanted to kind of be very complete about it though, to really get at least the alibi broken down, which I didn't. It was just really, there wasn't much information to go off of regarding Felicity. We were able to piece together the boyfriend's alibi though, but the farmer was also a mystery. So it was pretty much just the picture was sealed the deal. But I still enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you enjoy murder mysteries, puzzle games, escape room games, go check out the channel. Or if you want to help support the channel, there's a link in the description to buy me a coffee, or there's a QR code right here. Anything you give will definitely help to buy games or just equipment, or maybe actually coffee, because I do enjoy coffee. Also, if you want to recommend any games for me to play, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I hope to see you in the next one.